Finding a resultant of vector with answer key. I have already shared this file on the group. I will solve some questions right now in the class, and remaining you can solve at home and check your answers. You can see the answers are given after every question. So we'll solve a question, so you will have a better understanding, and the remaining of the questions you can solve at home. In this question, the first question, the boat is moving due west at a speed of 6.5 meters per second. Okay. The water is moving due south at 3.5 meters per second in the space below. Draw a scale diagram or calculation to determine the size and the direction of resultant of this velocity. And if you see the bottom of this, they mentioned direction of resultant, but this time they did not say us from which side, like either a direction relative to due from west or direction from south. So they did not specify. So if they don't specify, then you can draw any of the vector first. Okay. So in the question is not specified from which vector you need a direction from. So any of the vector you can take a direction. First thing, a boat is moving due west at a speed of 6.5. So what like we have north, south, east, west. So the boat is moving due west. What is the direction of the boat? Means towards the west. Yes. Look, in the question, the boat is moving due west at a speed of 6.5 meters per second. So we have the compass here. We have north, south, east, and west. So what is the direction of the boat? The direction of the boat is due west at a speed of 6.5. So what is the vector for the boat, for the motion or this velocity? That is 6.5. So this will be 6.5 meters per second. So this is 6.5 meters per second. That's the direction in which the boat is moving. The water is moving due south. So what is the direction of the water? It's due south. So this is the south direction. And what is the magnitude? The value, that is 3.5 meters per second. Okay. In the space below, draw a scale diagram or a calculation to determine the size and the direction of the resultant. In this question, they did not specify like whether I need a direction from the west or I need a direction from south. So you can find direction from any of them and you will write that in your answer. Okay. Because the question, they did not specify that whether you need a direction from south or you need a direction from west. So any of the vector you can draw first. But first thing, we determine the size or the magnitude. How to determine the size or the magnitude of the vector when they're perpendicular? So we use the Pythagoras theorem, that is 3.5 square plus 6.5 square in a root. So what's the answer? 3.5 square plus 6.5 square in a root. What's the answer here? 3.5 square plus 6.5 square in a root. Yes, what's the final answer?
Sir, 7.4 meters per second.
0.38.
7.38 or 7.4 meters per second. Okay. So we got the magnitude or the size is done. The next is the direction. But as I mentioned, if they did not specify that from which vector you need a direction, so any of the vector you can draw first. It's up to you. But then in the answer, you will specify that it is from south or it is from west. Example, I'm drawing a vector which is in the west first. So I'm drawing this vector which is in the west. Then I'll draw a vector which is towards south. From tail of the first to the head of the last, when we join them, we got the result. Now I'm finding a direction from the west. So what will be the angle? The theta is this one. So what is the perpendicular here? Opposite to the angle is a perpendicular. So this is a perpendicular. So then this will be the base. How to get the angle? So what's the formula to get the angle? So theta, or the angle, equal tan inverse perpendicular divided by base. So theta equal tan inverse. What is the perpendicular? 3.5. And what is the base? 6.5. So tan inverse 3.5 over 6.5. What's the answer? Tan inverse 3.5 divided by 6.5.
28.3.
So 28.3 degrees from west. Why? Because in the question I drew west first, that's why it will be from west. But what if another student solved the same question and instead of drawing the west, he drew south first? Like a student is solving the same question. So this is 28.3 degrees from west. That will be the answer. But let's say another student solved the same question and he drew, as they did not specify, we need a direction from south or west. So first we draw south, which is 3.5. Then we drew west. So this is 3.5 meters per second. Then we'll draw west. From the first vector, we draw the second vector. That is equals to 6.5. 6.5 should look bigger than 3.5. It is very important that because the magnitude of the vector shows the length. So when I'm drawing 3.5, it should look smaller than 6.5. So this is 6.5, this is 3.5. How to get the result? From tail of the first to the head of the last, that will be the result. And which one vector I drew first? I drew this vector first, so I need an angle from south. So what is this?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Opposite to the angle is perpendicular. Then what is this? This will be base. Now when I work out the theta, so theta is equals to tan inverse perpendicular divided by base. So theta equals tan inverse. What is the perpendicular? In this case 6.5 and the base is 3.5. What's the angle? 60? 62.7?
No, 62 degrees.
Okay, 61.7 or 62, I think. So 62 degrees. And 62 degrees from what? 62 degrees from south. So the resultant is 62 degrees from south, or you can say 28 degrees from west. So in this case, why it's like both are correct. It's not like if you write answer from south, it will be wrong, or you write answer from west, because in the question they did not specify relative to what. So if a relative to what is not specified, you can get the angle from anyone.
Sir, is it compulsory to mention the direction in every answer of the angle?
No. If they say relative to south or west, then you just mention the angle. But if it is not in the question, it is not mentioned that relative to which vector, that's why we have to specify.
Sure.
Yes, Mohammed Ayan.
So my question was once we get the value of theta, so how do we know the the direction of the
How we know the
resultant?
which direction? The vector which we
Yes.
draw first, that will be the direction. Like in this example, which vector I drew first? I drew south. So means it is from south. If I was drawing the vector west, like if the diagram was like this, if it was like this, I drew 6.5 and then 3.5. So which vector we do first? We do west first. So it means this angle, when we calculated, it was 28 degrees from west. So this west is the one which I draw first, or relative, that is what we add.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Another question, figure 4.1 shows a top view of a tourist vehicle in a game park, and the two elephants pushing against the vehicle. The two forces indicate are right angle to each other. Right angle means perpendicular or 90 degree to each other. In a space below, draw a scale vector diagram or calculation to determine the magnitude of the resultant and the direction of resultant from 4 Newton. First, how to get the magnitude? How to get the Pythagoras? So, how I'll get the result? So, it will be 4 square plus 6 square in a root. 4 square is 16, 6 square is 36. So, when you sum them, 16 plus 36, so root 52. What's the answer? What's the answer for root 52? 36 plus 16. Yes, Umar?
7.2.
7.2. So I'll get the magnitude as 7.2 and the unit is, because it's kilonewton, so I'll also get kilonewton. That's done. That's the first part, determine the magnitude. But the second part is what? Resultant. We need the direction of a resultant from 4 Newton force. So which one I should draw? Which vector I should draw first?
4.
6 or 4?
4.
So I should draw 4 first. So first we'll draw 4 kilonewton. As you can see, the 4 kilonewton is toward the right hand side. So I drew 4 kilonewton toward the right hand side. Then what about the second? Yes, Anas?
Sir, they're asking about the 4 Newton, not about the 4 kilonewton. So are we supposed to convert something here?
No, it's actually because I typed the question, so it's actually kilonewton. By mistake, its K is missing, but it is kilonewton.
Oh, okay, sir.
So 4 kilonewton is there. Then first I do 4 kilonewton, then I will draw 6 kilonewton. So this is 6 kilonewton. How to get the result from tail of the first to the head of the last? That will be the result. So this will be the result. And what about the theta? So this is the theta we need. So opposite to the angle is what? Perpendicular. So this will be a base. Because the resultant is always a hypotenuse. So how to get the angle?
4 tan.
So you will use a formula that tan inverse perpendicular divided by base. So theta is equals to tan inverse. What was the perpendicular for us? 6. And the base was 4. 6 divided by 4. What's the answer?
56.
Tan inverse 56 to 56 degrees. So the direction is 56 degrees from here. We don't have to mention from 4 Newton because it's already specified in the question that we need a direction from 4 Newton. So whenever you have the two vectors perpendicular, to get the magnitude, you use the Pythagoras theorem, and to find the direction, it will be tan inverse perpendicular divided by base. So which vector you have to draw first, that is important, and that is the one which they ask relative to, that is a vector you will draw first. Is it clear, discussion? Any doubt in this? Question 2?
No, sir.
Okay. The next question. All these questions I sorted out which the vectors are perpendicular, means the 90 degrees there, the angle between them. So an airplane is flying towards east. So first for such question, we should always north, south, east, west, the compass. An airplane is flying towards the east in the still air of 92 meters per second. So this is a speed of the airplane, which is 92 meters per second. The wind start to blow at 24 meters per second towards north. So means what is the direction of the wind? The direction of the wind is towards the north. And what is the magnitude of that? The magnitude is 24 meters per second. What we need, draw a vector diagram or a calculation to find the resultant velocity of the airplane. But sometime in the main question, they don't give us the relative direction, but they mention, like here, if you read the question, like the end of the question, it's written angle between the resultant and easterly direction. Like we need a resultant speed and we need the angle between the resultant and the easterly direction, means we have to draw which vector first?
92.
92 meters per second or towards east first. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . No, this is just I drew to show how the two vectors are pointing. Now I will solve the question. First thing, I need a magnitude. How to get the magnitude? So when two vectors are perpendicular, so it is 92 square plus 24 square in a root. What is the result here? 92 square plus 24 square in a root. 92 square plus 24 square in a root. 95 meters per second. So we got 95 meters per second. That's a magnitude. The next is we need a direction from east. So like the direction of a resultant from east. So which vector I should draw first? Is it 92 or 24? Which one I should draw first?
Sir, 24. No, sorry, 92.
92, because I need the question, I need the direction of the resultant from 90 from east. The one which is directed towards the east is 92. So I should draw first 92 and then I will draw 24. Then I will draw 24. So 92 and 24. How to get the result? From tail of the first to the head of the last, when I join, I will get the result. So, and I need this angle. So which one is a perpendicular opposite to the angle? 24 is a perpendicular. This will be the base. So how to get the angle? So theta equal tan inverse perpendicular divided by base. So tan inverse perpendicular is 24, base is 92. What's the answer?
14.6 or 15
14.6, or I can say 15 degrees. Is it clear, this example?
Yes.
So 14.6 from east or easterly direction. Okay. Yes, I will repeat this one. So the whole exercise is having the questions in which the vectors are 90 degree to each other. So you will solve, and even the answers are also given. So you can cross check like whether your answer is right or wrong. Okay. So it's just a practice sheet. So you don't have to submit this. This is just a practice sheet for all the vectors it's shown. So just solve, check whether your answer matches with the marking scheme answer. So I have already shared this exercise on the WhatsApp.